Hello, and welcome to Misguided Assets, a podcast with three people talking about whatever stuff that comes to our mind, I guess. I don't know. My name is Joshua. And, you two explain yourselves, I guess.
Party, would you like to go first?
No, you go.
All right. Hi, my name is Saki.
Hey, and my name is Fighter.
Yes. So these are the three friends that I have, and we just decided why not make a podcast, and so that's what we're basically gonna do today because we have interesting conversations with each other. So we're like, uh, why don't we just talk to the audience?
Yeah, just why
talk
not?
to other people. Yeah, basically, it's basically
Pretty
why not.
much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in terms of starting out, I thought that it might be a good idea to have this bit of like, is it an icebreaker? I don't know if it's an icebreaker topic, but I think this would be a great way to kind of get to know us a little bit more. Um, so, I'm here to ask you fellas a question because I'm very interested in what your guys' responses are. Um, so,
Go ahead.
what? Let me remember it though. Anyway.
Take your time.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think is the meaning of life? What do you guys interpret that as?
Well, I see it as a way of just being able to learn about yourself, what you're set out to do in the world, and everything.
So
It's a journey.
So it's just a journey. So are you like basically like imagine it as like a book kind of thing?
Yeah.
Uh,
You have your own story. Everyone else has their own. Just going about your day-to-day life.
True.
I guess. So is that
We
like
make our own decisions and rules.
Yeah. So is that like what you hope for when you die, kind of thing? It's like, or
I mean, I've already accepted it. I've already almost died around 2 to 3
oh,
times.
Oh.
One was
oh,
because I was like 5 years old, and we were at a friend's house, and it was 2 story. It was a 2 story building, and my mom was like, "Son, I want you to go upstairs and just because I want to have private time with the owners of the house." And I was like, "Okay." And me being a curious kid, I decided to look over the balcony while they were talking, and I jumped on top of the railing and I fell down. I proceeded to do 3 backflips midair. I don't know how to do a backflip, mind you, so I'm just freaking the hell out.
oh my
I
god!
wasn't screaming either, and I landed perfectly, sitting upright in the couch.
How many stories did you fall?
It was,
I'm
it was a
assuming
it was a
one.
2 story building.
Oh,
Yeah.
So yeah,
So he
I,
fell
I
one.
I think
yeah,
it's still
so I
survivable.
landed perfectly in between the adults. So it's like
Oh.
so you know that meme like hello fellow kids, so it's kind of like that. And
Okay.
like the second time was I believe I was in Oklahoma or in Arizona. I can't remember. I was way too young back then. But it's probably Arizona now that I think about it. We were mountain climbing at a family reunion during the summer, like at 12 o'clock ish, and we didn't bring enough water. So yeah, like it was a place where you can mountain climb, and then there's like a cave within the mountain. You can also go spelunking down there. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
that's cool. That's
Ooh,
cool.
that's
But
interesting.
yeah, the travel time from our cars to where the cave was about maybe an hour and 30-ish minutes, and we didn't bring that much water with us. So yeah, I think you know where this is going to be going.
That's,
High altitude plus very hot summer equals you might pass out due to dehydration and
And little amount of water also, as you mentioned.
yeah, yeah.
did you not plan to bring more water? Like, did you just
I
like?
mean, I was a kid. Is the kid supposed to plan that ahead?
Okay, but no,
I was
like
too
the
young to
Fair.
know that.
surely you
Fair
weren't. There were
point.
adults, right?
Yeah, no, there was a ton of adults, but we didn't think about it for some
Oh,
reason.
Oh my
huh.
Yeah,
gosh.
so
Yeah.
due to heat exhaustion, I passed out on the ground, and everyone
Ooh.
had to rush me back to where the cars were to resuscitate.
Oh my god.
Hmm.
Just
My
imagine
brain
like
almost got fried, guys.
I could just imagine like an EMP. It's like clear. Anyway.
Yeah.
God. I will say though, the two-story story. I think you would have lived that, even as like a little kid. I think you could survive. A
No, if I
two-story building.
landed on my head, no, that would have been permanent brain
Yeah.
damage or death.
Yes.
It's two
A
stories.
broken
I think I could jump out a two-story,
neck,
man.
probably.
Exactly, I broke a neck. I can paralyze me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because I know someone who had a similar experience, and they're living with brain damage, permanent brain damage.
All right then. So okay, back to the topic about like you saying that you think that that your life is just basically a storybook. Is that what you see life as? It's just like a storybook that everyone lives. That like basically everyone has a storybook that is finished once you die, and that's like the meaning of life or the point of life is for you to just create a good book for yourself.
I mean, if you're talking about the past, I'd say it's kind of like a book, but in the present, I believe it's what you make of it, and therefore it's not a book because it's the present. You don't think of your future death as a book. You think of what is here and right now.
Right.
So it's kind of like an author. You're not really thinking about writing. I mean, you do think about writing the book in the future, but you're here in the now. You don't know what's going to happen in the future yet.
So you're thinking it more of like in the present tense, not like an overarching picture.
People in the past don't know that they're from the past.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn. If you sure to tell like all of history, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what about you?
Because we have flying cars now. No.
True.
Imagine.
Yeah. What about you, Fighter? What are your thoughts on the meaning of life?
I'd say it's just an adventure and you should try to enjoy your time here as much as possible.
That's very wise. That's kind of like in a similar thought that I kind of have. That it's just like life is just kind of like the journey and kind of like the thing. What I was saying with you, Sugumi, about like the book. That's kind of how I see life as. Is like I feel like every single living person is basically writing themselves a book. They're basically writing their own autobiography that then ends in death. So, and this is kind of just like why I think this is like that's kind of how I treat my life as. It's like I want to make my life be an enjoyable adventure to go down, and just make it so that like it's like a good book to read. It's like a good autobiography, and it ends like pretty sweet. I basically live my life to try and write a really good story, essentially. And I think every life is like that. Even the ones that may perish like suddenly, it's still a good book nonetheless to read about their life and how they've gone through it. I don't know if that's
I agree.
Is that how you guys live your life?
Not me personally.
No, not really.
How do you guys do it then?
How do I think about my life?
Yeah, how do you live your life?
How do I live? I just kind of go with whatever's there.
Just like go with the flow.
Yeah, same here.
I don't think I don't really think about what's gonna come ahead. I'm not scared of the inevitable. If it happens, it happens. That's just how it is. If it's the end, it is the end. I'll come to terms with it.
So you don't like plan for your death. You don't plan for your end.
No,
do you?
I mean, there's things that I want to do before I do die, but
of course.
Yeah. Do I am I planning for my death? Well,
no.
Do I have a stable income? Do I have a family of my own? Maybe I'll think about it after that.
I mean,
I don't really have enough assets or anything I want to like confer to my family and friends as of yet. Like, if I die, I want this to go to this person. Am I planning for my death now? No, I'm too young.
I mean, you guys, because like you're thinking of that as like just like what am I gonna write my story? I like literally am planning for my death. Like I have ideas for like one of the stupidest and funniest things is like, what if I like live streamed me on my deathbed, and like just have like a friend end the stream when I basically die, like when my basically when my heartbeat's to zero. And I'm like thinking it's like, people are so like mournful for deaths, and they usually respect the people who do die if they're very influential on the internet. And so I'm like,
Most people, not everyone, for some reason.
Man, I just want cringy music playing when I die. On my deathbed.
So I'm like, if I die and like I'm making a live stream of it, then what are they gonna do? Take down the live stream? I'm gonna be dead. Because it's like, if I make a live stream and then I die, it's like, okay, I'm showing like a bunch of different people basically my death, but who are they gonna blame?
TOS.
Who are they gonna
It's
blame?
against
them?
TOS. It's a
Yeah,
dead
it
body.
is.
You've
But
seen
if-
Logan Paul, right?
It's
Yeah, but it's like, it's
no.
my wish to have myself be a dead body. Like I said, it's a stupid
It's still
idea.
against TOS.
But
There's
yeah,
a difference between the Johnny Depp court case and this.
that's true. Yeah. I also had the idea of making it so like I make like a mass like scavenger hunt for my death. Like as I die, I just like slowly start releasing content that I might have built up, in case once I do die, and then maybe just have like a massive scavenger hunt, for basically
You're talking
like,
about
all
like
my
an
friends and
ARG?
family. A kind of thing, yeah. Kind of like a little bit of an ARG, I think, which I think would be really cool. Because they would just like basically allow these people to have a bit more time with me, but also allows them to kind of end, because when I'm dead, like they're not gonna be able to interact with me. They're gonna be able to talk to me, but death is sometimes just like sudden. Death is sometimes unplanned.
Yeah.
And so with like an ARG, it allows me to plan their kind of adventure, their kind of flow, so that they basically end their relationship with me because I'm dead, the way I wanted to. Basically, I basically get to tell the end of my story and get to show that to them, which I think would be really cool. Am I the only one? Am I the only one that thinks this deeply about what to do when I'm dead
Yes.
or after I'm dead?
I
Oh,
think
okay.
so.
Yeah, probably.
You're the only morbid one here.
I look at it as a hopeful lens, so I don't know if I am that morbid. But I don't know.
I think it's just of different life choices.
Yeah, probably.
Probably that, yeah.
Maybe if you were talking to me about half a year or a year ago, I'd be probably in the same boat as you because I was handling with depression, but not anymore. I feel great.
Would that help you though?
That's good.
Would that help you? Because like I would just think that like, I mean, would it get you out of depression, or would it just be like something where it's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna die now, or I definitely
in
should
depression,
die now.
you're thinking about death.
Yeah,
like, a
yeah,
whole lot.
but I'm basically saying is like, would my story give you suicidal thoughts, or would it help you get out of depression? Because I could see a case for either or.
I think it would make me delve deeper into it if I were to think about it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
Right.
therapy's a great thing. Everyone should do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, you guys have any other topics or ideas to discuss? I don't know.
I have a
Let's-
huge one.
Yeah,
But, if anyone would like to discuss anything smaller in scope, because this it's going to be quite big.
I'd say we're like
Not-
kind of
not
like in the middle
really.
of the video in terms of stuff. Unless Fighter, you have something to talk about or discuss.
Not really.
Really?
Okay,
Yeah.
I can crack open the case on this one, boys. You ready?
All right. Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
hear
go
it.
ahead.
Okay. Topic is voice acting and the use of AI and replacing people/writers in shows. What do you think? You guys think about that?
Oh boy.
This is in relation
Yeah.
to the artist and writer strike, right? Or the
Yeah.
writer strike, yeah. I have my thoughts
What do you-
about this, but
Yeah. What do you guys think about it?
Fighter, do you want to go first? Because I have
It
my
should
thoughts.
be illegal.
Is
Should
that
be
it?
illegal to use it. Is that it? There's no more context?
It's just as illegal. But why? Why would it be illegal? I guess because you got to think about like what would be the gray areas where it would be fine to do that.
I think
Especially
it's
for
okay
personal
to
use.
use.
Well-
I think it's okay to use AI if you're using it to enhance writing, but not to replace writers. If you're
Agreed.
making people lose their job and their salary and income because of it, then I think it should be banned.
Right.
Yeah. Enhancing, yes. As replacing, no.
Okay, because if you start using AI more than just people, you're essentially taking out what is the creativity of shows or books in general. What
Yeah.
gives substance to anything is the human soul, I believe, because it's you're writing your own thoughts, feelings, emotions. You don't really get the same thing out of a robot or AI.
Yeah.
It's stone and cold for now. I mean, in the future it might change, but for now, it's hard to really make a very compelling story with a robot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It reminded me of a video I watched on YouTube. Um have you two heard of the YouTuber Quebblecop?
Yes, I have.
I have
I've
not.
seen it. I've seen extensive videos on that. I hate
Yeah.
it. I hate it.
Yeah, he's basically replaced himself of um the editing of his videos with an AI.
Mm-hmm. He started off with the like a 3D model from like, let's say, neck up, right? And
Well,
I think he also had like an actor be placed on that, so it's kind of like a 3D mask.
well,
And
he
yeah, what were you gonna say?
he first tested it out with I believe was a, a VTuber channel named Blue.
Well, I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Um. Hold on.
Interesting. Oh, are you looking it up right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's there. Him.
Oh. Okay, now I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah. Blue. That's Blue.
Yeah. For our audio listeners, what he basically sent in the Discord chat was basically like a guy with blue hair, with like a white and blue T-shirt as like I think like a VTuber. Is that what it is?
Yeah. A VTuber model.
A VTuber model. I mean, it kind of looks like the guy. I will say.
Um.
A bit.
I'd
Not
say they
really.
have similar writing styles for scripts,
Okay.
or just the inflection of their character.
Right.
You can kind of see them as something very similar to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is what he replaced himself with on his main channel.
And guess what? There's a third side to it.
Oh.
He made I want to say like a Twitter post stating that he will make himself essentially a deepfake. People think it's a deepfake, but he's gotten himself a AI version of his whole entire body done. So it's almost it's 1-to-1 to his own body, but the video was just so off. In the middle of it, you could tell that his eyes looked like he was squinting more than usual, and the offset of his mouth moving, it was just very janky. So what people speculated was that it's not AI that he created the model with that looks exactly like him, but just someone they put a deep fake over, like a paid actor.
I have
But,
no thoughts on this because I have no idea who this person is whatsoever.
I'm surprised. It's like one of the OGs.
I don't know. I don't watch VTubers.
I wouldn't.
No, I mean he wasn't a
yeah.
VTuber before. He was a major
Yeah,
like GTA and COD YouTuber in the past.
Yeah, I haven't watched much of those either.
He played with Jelly and
racing mainly. And Slogo Man.
Yeah, Jelly and Slogo Man.
Mm-hmm.
You never heard of those?
No, neither of those. I've never heard of
I,
either of those. No.
I used to watch them, not so much recently. So I am only learned about them from the internet historian, I believe it was. Yeah.
Huh. All right.
I learned about it last week or so.
I
So
think I
very
learned
recently.
about Quibble via the Sunny V 2 video done about him.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Sunny made a video on him?
explored his channel.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was due to Quibblecop's slow turn to just longer and longer times per upload. Because he would upload like every day. He set his mission out to do that. Then he got burnt out of that, and that's basically the Sunny V2 video done on him.
Mm-hmm.
He was just losing the creative juices that he had, which now led him over to doing AI instead.
Yep, it
A
was.
very weird turn, in my opinion. Sometimes it's okay to fall off if, I mean, you made a lot of money on YouTube. You have enough to retire. Why do you need more?
Actually, the video I learned it from was from the Internet Anarchist.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, Internet Historian, I don't think he talked about it.
Nope. Nothing.
So I have another
This
thing
video.
that has to revolve around AI.
I didn't answer.
You didn't answer? I mean, I thought you didn't have any input on it.
No. I have my opinions. I just want to fight it to go first,
Okay.
so that I can give my bombshell of an answer.
No. Feel free to interject it midway if you want.
Well, I couldn't interject because I don't know who this person is. Whatever you guys are talking
Fair.
about.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Mhm.
So back onto like the topic of like AI, and in terms of like AI and the writers, and like should AI basically be writing scripts for these big name companies? Here's my
And
thought
VAs.
process behind this. Yeah, here's my thought process behind it. Which let me just make it very clear. I'm not in like the film or animation industry. I do not know that much about it. I'm trying to get into it. Like I have a major going into animation and stuff like that. But just know that I may be just talking random crap or whatever like that. So the way I see it is like, I think this is actually going to be really good because how I saw like most movies that came out on theaters was that they were very formulaic. Because I felt like I could predict like every single plot line that would happen in every Pixar movie, every plot line that could happen in like a Marvel movie as well. Like the stories just stop becoming interesting to me in movies now because I have now this just like ability to kind of just predict what's going to happen because I know what the formula is supposed to be. I know what's going to happen next. And so what I think is going to be really interesting is like if AI decided to take over these like writing jobs, I don't think really much is going to change. Like if AI was used to make a script, I don't think we would probably see all that much of a discernible difference because movies were in its own inherently formulaic anyway. So I don't really see that many changes. And the way I see it is like if these big companies are going to start using this formula, I think that there might be a chance that it might work and it might not. I think because if films were already so formulaic, it's very possible that people like formulaic stuff. People like this formula because it works so much because people still keep buying films.
Well, it's also the fact that you're going to be if we're going for stuff like that has a simple plot, it's gonna be easier to write. I think it's just a change in culture and industry standard. Because in the past we had things like Lord of the Rings. The plot of that was amazing.
Yeah, but that was also a book first.
Why can't we go back to that?
But that was also a book first before a movie, so I don't know if that.
I mean, the same thing could be said about The Witcher. Have you heard about the Witcher drama?
I have not heard about the Witcher drama. No.
The writers there are going against the grain of the Witcher books, and they're making it less about the main character and more about the side characters. So instead of the main focus being on the Witcher, it's on it's become it's more about the female characters in it.
I mean, that's fine, but
I mean, sure, but it's completely subjected the fact of what The Witcher is supposed to be.
yeah, I wouldn't know because I haven't watched The Witcher at all. But
Oh, me neither.
yeah,
I just
Same
hear a lot
here.
of bad stuff about it,
eh. Uh,
and they also keep like switching out actors.
yeah. But the
This
thing
is
is,
for
Oh.
like every season. This is like the third time they've done it.
damn. But yeah, I think that because there's a possibility that if AI were to take over writing for like big studio films, like either it will succeed, because apparently people still like formulaic films and like they like their films being able to follow that simple formula that has already been established and has been developed
Star
for over
Wars.
so many years. Which is like pretty much every film I think has a thing. I'm Pixar is very famous for like having that formula, and I feel like most of their recent movies kind of follow it to a T. So I think
I
like
mean, they
if
also
AI
been
was
bought
able
out
to
by
take out of
Disney.
that, no, well, kind of. That's a little bit different in terms of that, but I don't want to get into that.
I mean, what do you think about like old Marvel movies
I mean,
before
I
they
don't know.
were acquired?
I actually don't know. I do remember liking the old Marvel movies, but I don't remember enough of them to determine whether they were good
Like,
or bad.
imagine
Yeah.
the original like
It's
Iron Man movies.
I mean, they were
it's
good.
been a while
been
since
a while.
I really watched Marvel, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a
Same.
50-50 when it comes to Marvel movies nowadays, because they have a lot of tropes and like ideologies like mixed into it. I think it should just be what you want it to be.
I'm fine
Not
with
like just for creativity, but I don't think you should be bringing politics and stuff like that into movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with the ideology and stuff like that. It's just like I guess it's like Marvel's bringing too much realism
Life.
into the Marvel
Yeah.
movies. Yeah, they're putting too
Yeah.
much life into Marvel movies. I feel like because that's kind of what we watched the movies like for, was just for like the action and the comedy and these great stories that realistically wouldn't really exist, like Captain America, Iron Man, and other
Mhm.
stuff like that. They had real elements,
Hulk.
but it definitely like still had that heightened reality.
Dude, the Hulk
where it
movie
wasn't
was
trying to be.
boring.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
It wasn't
I
trying to
tried
be.
watching it.
Yeah.
I tried watching the original Hulk movie. That thing was so
Hmm.
boring.
The Incredible
I
Hulk.
can't.
Ah,
Yeah, I
haven't
can't.
watched that. I don't remember that. But anyway, yeah.
I've
it's-
watched it 3 times.
I don't think I watched any of the Hulk movies.
I don't remember enough to fully know the original Hulk
The animated
movie.
shows are better.
Anyway. But yeah, it's like either people are gonna like that formula content, or people are going to be desaturated by it. So like because people have watched so many formula contents, they're basically gonna become like me, who have gotten sick of these movies that follow a formula, and I'm able to predict everything that happens in the movie, or at least just like the general beats and the general like tropes. That might be what's gonna happen if AI decided to take over scripts, because then they would just be able to do the same thing over and over again, and thus people might get sick of the same thing over and over again. Those are like the 2
Mhm.
options. But the reason why I'm kind of interested to see if AI did take over these writer jobs is like that just means that if the big companies basically have these AIs making these stories in formula types, and they're going to be doing it very fast because it's the big companies, they have the money to kind of do very fast like stories, very fast pitches. That just means there's more freelance writers to make experimental stories, like make stories that do not follow the formula, make stories that are much more interesting and more fun. And that's what I'm personally excited about, is finding movies that don't follow that typical formula, that like have at least a little bit of subversion of expectations to where I don't predict what it's going to be. Like, because like in like a lot of movies that I see like 2 characters staring off into the sunset, and I'm like, oh, this is the emotional part of the 3rd act or something like that. It's like, I'm sick of that. Why are you gonna give me this? Just give me fun action movie. Because like it's in every single movie that there's just like that one scene. Even if it's like a superhero movie, an action movie, there's always that one scene where they're just like sitting, talking, sad music's in the background, and I'm just like, okay, that's fine. People probably like that, and I do like that sometimes, but I don't want to be able to predict that. I don't want to be able to look at that and say, oh, that's in the 3rd act.
Would you rather have a static and stoic character that doesn't have any feelings?
I just rather there to be more experimentation.
I
with
think it's
how
okay
the
to
formation
have.
of stuff.
I think it's okay to have that sort of inflection when it comes to emotion because it's what defines and
Yeah.
helps build a character if done right. Now
Yeah.
nowadays we're getting it rushed. It's if you think about it like um, just as in anything that has a lot of salt in it, we're getting the low salt content.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see like new styles of stories. Basically, it's mostly for me because I want to be able to watch movies and be able to say, oh, I didn't see that coming, or oh my god, this is a really good movie because I couldn't predict every single goddamn thing in the movie. So
Yeah.
you know, but yeah,
Um,
that's my thoughts about it. I'm
If you
excited.
guys don't mind, you guys don't mind, let's progress with the topic. I have another. I
Yeah, yeah,
have
yeah.
um,
go forward.
um, could I add one more thing?
Go
Sure.
ahead.
Um, with the legality of it, I'd say with the writers, it should mainly be used to enhance the writing, and not so much make it. It
Hmm.
and with VAs is all also in handsets it but if the VA is okay with lending the AI their voice is they can sign a contract uh, 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 like if if the AI um is used X amount of times names the voices owner gets paid X amount of
A
X.
royalty.
Yes, essentially that.
What about for personal use though? Like,
Okay.
is that
Before we
legal?
get on to that,
Yeah.
I want to progress this.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So we all know Hoyoverse, right?
Yes.
Voiceovers? Yeah.
Hoyoverse, yeah. The
Oh
creators
wait.
of
Oh you.
Genshin, yeah, the
Oh.
creators of Genshin, Honkai Impact Third, Honkai Star Rail.
Kind of.
But
Mm-hmm.
back in around August, they started hiring people to code AI, so they could replace voice actors that aren't readily available for a shoot. Let's say that you're sick on a day they need you to come in and record, or you're in the middle of a trial proceeding, like you're in the middle of a police investigation, you can't be there. They're
Yeah.
they're basically saying we want to have this AI engine set up so whenever we do need you and you're not there and readily available, we can just use that instead. What do you guys think about that?
I think why not just wait until the actors are free again?
I mean, remember you gotta remember with these games like they have substantial updates. Like Genshin, you
Yeah.
have like
True.
you get like 4.2. You got big regions where like 5.0, where you get a new whole entire new area. You need these wastelands set up and done beforehand before the update, and you don't want to do that last minute.
Right, but like,
Mm-hmm.
how fast are the updates coming out? Because I would assume like you would still have time to be able to do
I'd say
all
about
the
like
voice
every
acting.
3 weeks.
That's insane. First of all, to be able to make a game in 3 weeks, but also there's like how much dialogue
Well,
is added in those 3 weeks?
Well, I mean,
um,
for Genshin, it's kind of like you're building your own
depends.
character, and with every character, there's a ton of different voice lines for that one specific character.
Yes.
You got default animations. You
Hundreds.
have default voice
Right.
lines whenever you're like idle talking. You you have backgrounds that are voiced by the VAs, and special voice lines you get for
Cutscenes.
whenever you cutscenes, special voice lines for whenever you level up a character, stuff like that.
Okay, I just assumed that like
Um.
coding
Uh.
whatever
Yeah.
update was gonna take longer is gonna take longer than voice acting, but all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um. Um. Fighting quotes.
Yep. Ultimates.
ability used, ultimates,
Alright.
etc.
But yeah, recently they
Swapping
did this
also,
for
I think.
they recently did this for a character in Tears of Themis. It's a romance game, mostly made for girls, right? So it's another branch that you guys haven't really heard of Hoyoverse. The game's been out for about a year or two-ish. I haven't been closely
What's
looking
the
at
game
it,
called?
but Tears of Themis.
Okay.
I have not heard of
Yeah.
it. No.
And they recently did this with the character called Jiang. I don't know how to say this. I'm just gonna call him Jiang. I did not want to mispronounce the character's last name.
You could just
But
say,
yeah,
"Hey guys, I might mispronounce this," and then say the name. You could just do that.
Nah, I'm gonna get canceled, man. I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
Anyway.
I mean, have you seen the Honkai impact their community?
No, I have not.
You've seen Genshin. If you mispronounce anything, they're gonna come for your throat.
I played Genshin once. I explored the entirety of the first area, and then I stopped playing it. I have not interacted.
Yeah, just don't look at Twitter. Just don't look at Twitter or any Reddit thread.
It wasn't
Please.
in my recommended.
There's a lot of weird and sick people out there.
Jiayan, ZXIA space YAN.
No, it's it's JIANG, and then GUANGTAO, and he looks like this.
Yeah, I'm looking him up now.
But yeah, the VA was under investigation for what I honestly do not know.
That's crazy.
I think it's pronounced Zhang Guantao.
Guantao. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, what do you think about whenever the voice actor's sick or just not readily available? Would you guys be okay with AIs being used to replace you?
If I give consent, maybe.
Yes.
I think if people give consent, I think I'm perfectly fine with having my voice be able to be used. Like, that's just me personally. But for other people who might not be okay with that, I think giving consent would probably be the best course of action.
Yeah. I'd say if I'm give consent and are still paid for the lines they use.
Well, that would be in contract, but yeah, I think it's actually kind of, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I did just kind of say is like, why did they need to do that? But also, like, it's kind of smart because the way I've thought about it with voice actors is like, because like the thing with voice actors, at least to me, which I may be completely wrong, is like if a voice actor dies, like not only does that basically kill the voice, not only does that basically kill like any future uses of the voice, but it also kind of kills the character off. Because you can't really make any new voice lines with that character unless you get an impressionist who's able to do.
Guess what Disney's doing?
I mean, yeah, they're doing AI.
They're doing it with real people.
Yeah,
they're basically saying, "Hey, if you guys die, we have a carbon copy of you. We'll just have you deep faked."
Yeah, and I mean
that's a whole entire movie.
That's its whole that's its own separate thing because again, it's like whether or not the people who gave consent might not have actually, because the technology probably wasn't there when they gave consent anyway. But like, it is somewhat of a smart move because like if the voice actor leaves for any period of time or just not able to do stuff, you kind of have voice acting with real voices. I think you should ask for consent and do stuff like that. But like if AI becomes
100%.
smart enough to just basically create its own voice, that would be really interesting because like. Yeah. If you have like an AI voice that sounds like an actual human, that's not based on anyone else's voices or a combination of voices to where it isn't discernible. It could be like determined by free use or something like that. That would be really cool because that would basically mean that everyone that basically eliminates, I guess, one part of the production line for many indie developers and many indie creators. Is like you don't really have to look around and try and find like voice actors or voice actresses. You just basically have them on your own, and that's
the thing is, like, you're killing off a lot of lines of work. Like, what if you want to get into the VA industry?
Yeah.
First of all, they're already not getting paid a lot. their pay is
Yeah.
very minimal. I've
Yeah.
seen people talk about getting only around $30,000. That's not a whole lot. That's around the
Hmm.
same. That's around the same pay a teacher gets at
Yeah.
a school.
Ooh.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
At
Is it the
starting pay.
unions?
This is starting pay. This is starting pay, by the way.
Yeah. Is this like you like what fights for the pay of these? Is like another union that's for voice actors and voice actresses or
Okay,
no?
there is certain unions for voice actors, but like whatever company they're contracted to, they don't. Sometimes they don't listen to the voices of the union. This is also seen in stuff like anime for dubs, right? There's certain protection companies that will not allow the protections of a union or not allow that inside the contract. So there's been cases where people get kicked off of voicing a character just because they want to get they want to they're organizing with a union to get better pay.
Hmm.
It's a
Right.
tricky situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But basically,
I mean that's why the Writers Guild went on strike and
yeah.
the VAs did too because
Yeah.
they tried to come together make a contract with Hollywood to
Yeah.
help
To get
support. Yeah, they were finally able to push something through, but I do
Good.
not know much information about that, so I'm not gonna talk about it
yeah,
here.
and it did take a while for that to happen. But like obviously that is a very big concern. But the way I see it is like I'm more of thinking of AI and like more of the broader scope. Basically, just like what it allows us to create, not just like the big companies, but even like smaller companies. Because if we can have AI do a lot of the production cycle of like animation and or game development, that just makes it easier for indie game developers and indie filmmakers to make what they want to make, to put their ideas down on paper and show it to the
True.
world. And so that's the way I
Maybe
see
in the
it.
future.
The thing is, I
Mhm.
I don't think of it anytime in the present because I
yeah,
feel like you'll be losing what creates value out of a game.
yeah,
It's what the it's again like what our human soul and our own creativity help build to create a game that's good. I mean, you've seen stuff like Dark Souls, good combat
yeah,
and all that. It Miyazaki was there. He decided, hey, this will be a good turning point in the game. Let's make it hard as hell, but also challenging and rewarding whenever you do finish it. And it's
right,
stuff like that that helps reward the player with a sense of entitlement and saying like, "Oh, I just finally killed this boss. It took me 15 hours. I feel great."
yeah. But I'm just saying, like,
Mhm.
it'll make it easier to make said games and said films because
Yeah,
you have entire creative control, hopefully, to be able to assign that entire stuff. So you don't need the skills to understand how that works or how to create something like that, or be able to have the charisma to talk to people and ask people to join in on your team. You could just do that yourself. You're lessening the amount of people you have to hire, or lessening the amount of knowledge you need to have in order to create whatever's in the funky little head of mine. And the way I see AI going, because I don't think AI right now is very popular. I see it as kind of like a gradual decline if like jobs is like really a big concern. Because like the way I see it is like at first like AI is going to be mostly experimental. Like we don't really know what's going to happen. After that, I think it's going to be a choice because I don't think AI will be good enough to perfectly replicate a voice. So there might be some directors
Yeah.
who are just like, oh, I want actual voice actors, and there might be some other directors who are like, you know what, I want to do AI, and it just slowly but surely, you know, hopefully or maybe AI will become advanced enough to where it mimics human voices just fine, and we don't really notice, and so we are perfectly fine with doing things.
if we
So
get to
like,
that point, I
Yeah.
believe that there should be a universal basic income because with the increase of AI and its development,
well, I mean,
it's the same thing is going to be happening with robots. It's pretty
Yeah.
linear. They're in the same industry. One's more of a OS and the other one's more physical. But I
what?
feel like as time progresses, we'll be able to a perfect balance in between those two. And at
I
that
Mhm.
point, I think a lot of jobs are going to be gone, missing, and at that point, just a universal basic income would probably have to be implemented.
No, because you're forgetting the fact that like jobs are getting created every single day. So I think
I mean,
like with the
sure.
jobs that are going to be lost,
Yeah.
there are jobs that are going to be gained from that.
I mean,
And
sure, but they're going to be higher. They're going to be at a higher bar to entry.
the thing is, like, I think it's
Mhm.
very far into the future that I don't think we can predict what the political or social or economic climate is going to be by the time AI gets to the point where it does fully take over. But the way I see it is like it's going to be a gradual decline. So I do believe like jobs will be like lost, but it won't be like that much. It will be a gradual decline as we start slowly accepting AI to the point where it's like we kind of are like, oh yeah, how it's always been. This is just kind of how AI should be. It's gonna kind of go gradual over a long distance of time,
No, I
uh,
agree.
and because it's gonna go through like a long distance of time of being like accepted and being utilized by people, I don't think that many like firings or all that many people are gonna get, damaged by this kind of thing. So it's gonna be such a gradual decline. Because I do think
Yeah, it's a
AI,
long-term project.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
AI being able to take over these different types of areas of animation and game development is good. It's good. I think it's good because it allows us to just even easier put our funny little ideas from our brain onto something that other people can experience. It's better for entertainment because we're able to give out our ideas. But I don't think AI is at
If
the
done
point
right.
right now, and it's going to take a while for AI to get there. So I think it's going to be like a slow, gradual decline. And when it comes to like the pessimistic thought of just like, oh, AI is going to instantly take all of our jobs, the way I
Yeah,
see it is
it's
like
not.
the thing is
It's
like
not.
the way I see it is like we the people will not let quote unquote greedy corporations to be able to take everyone's jobs and just entirely do it with AI. Especially when entertainment, since we the people are the people who pay these entertainment industries. So
Hmm.
the way I see it is like there are people out there who are fighting against it. So it's like we won't let quote unquote greedy corporations be able to take over with AI because we won't let that happen. So we're gonna find like either a middle ground or there's gonna be so much time that's passed to where we're just like okay with it or fine with it. You know.
I think the main thing that's missing from AI at the moment is the human element that's missing.
I think you can recreate art without human soul. Because like I believe that everything that we make is purely derivative off of other things we've seen and other things we've done. Um, so I think that it is fully possible for AI to create art and it be just as good as a human's. I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we have
It's
Well,
anything
getting
special
to the
that allows.
point where you can't really discern if it's real or not.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. And back on um um hmm, with the loss of well not loss of but the absence of the human element that AI has right now. Oh, it's basically the same thing that caused Quebbelkop's some downfall. His long term fans and supporters all complained about how 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 the AI doesn't really feel human.
I think there's a good and bad side when it comes to Quebbelkot's situation. He's
Yeah.
progressing past what is the norm and helping to advance what is going to be eventually the entertainment industry in the long term.
It's exciting.
So he's a martyr, right? Of course, there's
Yeah.
people that hate what he's doing, but it is giving him attention, positive, negative
Yes.
attention. It doesn't really matter because at
Yeah.
some point, it's gonna happen eventually. Our entertainment is
Yeah.
gonna eventually be replaced by AI.
Yeah. Eventually.
Eventually. I don't want to think of it as very dystopian though, because I think the purpose
It
of AI
sounds.
is going to be. I think the purpose of AI is supposed to be like a tool for us to do stuff. Like we create AI to help us humans live better everyday lives and basically do what we want to do. So
Yeah.
like yes, if AI takes over everything, I think they'll just be happier for us because the AI is going to be specifically tuned towards our needs. So I don't think it's like AI will be able to create its own films and its own shows or whatever. No, AI will basically just be used so that we can put whatever in our head onto
Oh,
whatever
on
type of
the
medium that we
screen.
want. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever medium we want. And I said that 3 times already. I'm sorry. Anyway,
No, you're fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Fighter, do you have a topic that you want to discuss?
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
make this the last one.
Yeah.
well, pretty much the only topics I really look at are war and history related.
Oh, go right ahead.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Um, how about the current war between Ukraine and Russia?
Are you talking about
Mm,
the Ukraine invasion or the possible Ukraine invasion?
Um, 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 I'm talking about the war as a whole. Were you surprised by anything? Um, um, Basically your thoughts on it.
You might have to tell me what specifically. So if this is not the Ukraine invasion, it might be like on those news stories of like I think a big bombing in Israel or something like that, or is that something different?
Uh, um, um, I mean, the Russian invasion of Ukraine,
Oh, okay.
not Ukraine's invasion,
yeah,
because
Russia's reason for doing it is because in Ukraine there's land that used to be owned by Russia,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
No,
and
yeah, I
that's
think
their
and
justification for invading Ukraine.
yeah. And then there's this whole thing
mm-hmm.
about like
But
no, because the other motivation was because Ukraine was going to join the UN or was thinking about joining the
No,
UN.
that was afterwards.
And that was after. Oh, okay.
NATO actually
NATO.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The reason the reason the Kremlin gave to their citizens and originally told the world was to denazify Ukraine, and a few other things which is just absurd as I'm pretty sure Zelensky is Jewish.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. I mean, I don't really know what to think about it because I don't think I have enough context or really enough knowledge to really know about the Ukraine and Russia situation. It's like the basis of my knowledge is the fact that the basis of my knowledge, which may be incorrect, I guess, is the fact that Russia was trying to invade Ukraine, mostly because Ukraine was gonna start joining NATO or something like that, or was thinking about joining NATO, and then I think there's like nothing happens or something like that. That's the extent of my knowledge, and that Russia I think invaded some other place before attempting trying to do Ukraine, or something like that.
Well, with Russia, uh, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Chechnya broke away, but was later annexed. Russia then invaded Georgia, the country south of it and northeast of Turkey. Yeah. Since I'm pretty sure at this time Georgia was also thinking of joining NATO, and now Russia's Russia's attacking Ukraine for pretty much the same reason, according to my knowledge, at least.
So, you have any thoughts or?
No,
Saki? No. Okay.
I don't have enough, and I don't have enough context to really input on it because
Yeah.
I don't really follow any international wars at the moment, except for
Neither do
what's
I.
happening in what's happening at the moment right
Israel.
now.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't.
with the Israel situation.
I
Yeah.
That's
haven't.
that, and even still, I think that there's two sides to it. I don't have enough information regarding it
Yeah.
because there's a lot of pre-standing information regarding who had ownership of the land at that point. I do think it was a huge tragedy on both sides. A lot of innocent civilians were killed in it. I personally don't think it should have happened. I don't know why people are championing the thought of murder. I think nowadays people have become just monotone to just death, at least over the
Yeah.
internet.
Yeah.
To the an
Desensitized
unprecedented
to it.
rate. Yeah. We've all everybody become more desensitized to it, and I think
Yeah.
it's also because they're not there in person to do so. It's the access to the internet that has allowed us to have free roaming thought, and it's kind of
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
killed us as a society.
I think it's probably like a numerous amounts of things. Like comedy can add to it, especially like among YouTubers, as well as just like the fact that cartoons just kind of trying to like, I guess I don't know what the right word is, but basically just like cartoonicized violence and death and kind of stuff like that. So I think it's like a combination of things. But when it comes to like the Israel situation, isn't the reason why Israel is being so fought over is because of is because like that's a like a famous holy city and everyone's fighting to see who technically owns that city or something like that?
Well, it, with I- Israel, um, um, I believe it was it's the holy city of Judaism, and I believe also in Christianity. I believe.
Well, from
Yeah.
what I know, Christianity was a it was a branch from Judaism. Judaism was the original.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also a holy land for the opposing side that's fighting right now.
Yeah.
So
I guess so. Yeah.
they're trying to reclaim their holy land as well.
Yeah. That's what the fight's
Uh,
mostly about.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
over the
yeah,
holy
because
Mhm.
land.
they share the same land, and that's why they've been constantly fighting. Where people are constantly fighting with Israel to reclaim it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, the main thing that caused the violence there was after decolonization, um um well after World War II mainly, the major um al, allied powers without consulting the the Muslims there, or just created is Israel and put them there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. Alrighty then. I yeah.
It was originally modern religious war, but now I'm pretty sure religion is a major factor, but I'm pretty sure it's just I don't re- really know at the moment.
Hmm. Fair enough. Yeah. 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 Okay. Well, I would say I think we're hitting around an hour. I think.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Do we want
We
to
are at an hour.
probably around that? All right. Do we have any final thoughts? Any final says? Before
Nah,
we end this.
I
Not
think we're
really.
done.
They were good. All right. So for you, the viewers at home, we might be making more of these. Maybe we don't know. We're just trying stuff out. I think.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we'll see if we'll see you in episode 2 or podcast 2 or whatever we decide to call it. And we'll see you then. Maybe. Who knows? Anyway. We don't have an outro. What should we do for an outro?
Assets out. There we go.
Yeah. Assets out.